So I've been looking forward to May since the beginning of the year because as a fragrance reviewer, especially one who does a lot of the new release designers, you really can't pick up anything outside of the designers because there's way too many between January and April to even think about going and picking up anything that has been on your list to pick up. Older fragrances that you have maybe tested out. There's just no way because there's so many new release designers outside of just putting them off. But anyway, I know that every year, as soon as like the end of April, early May starts to come, that is the time where it starts to really slow down with designers and you get the time to pick up things. So right now I have 8 fragrances on order, not including the package that just arrived 2 days ago. And that's the ones that we're going to be talking about today. I got 3 niche fragrances in, and I'm going to be talking about them today. One of them I just did a full review on because I've been wanting to review that fragrance. But today we're going to be talking about 3 fragrances: Sospiro Vibrato, Loumari Porthole, and Bohemian Lime by Goldfield and Banks. So without further ado, let's get it. What's going on, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys so much for showing up for yet another video. I always appreciate your feedback, so if you guys want to comment below, let me know anything, any tips about the videos, any fragrances that you would like me to do, please let me know. Also, if you're not, make sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons. I always appreciate it. Again, I have 8, 9, 10, 11 fragrances on order that I've been testing out over the last year. I told you guys I make a list of the fragrances I want to pick up, and while I'm buying them, I have a few designers that I've been wanting to order. I have some packages coming from people overseas. I just bought these 3 fragrances. All I know is I need to slow down soon because I know Versace Eros Energy is coming out, the new Kenzo's coming out, the new Spice Bomb Dark Leather's coming out. Also, Invictus Aqua might make its way to Fragrance Buy, so I need to make sure that I save some funds for that as well. With that said, that's not what we're talking about today. I just did my review for Lamari Porthole the other day, so I will briefly mention it in this one. But my fragrance haul, again, it just came in. I've had these written down on a list of fragrances, so I have top tier, and then I have my top 10 fragrances that I've tested out over the last year that I need to pick up. And 2 of them were on my top 5. They were actually number 1 and 2. And then I have my low tier, the ones that I can just add to an order that might not be as expensive as the other ones. And the one that I picked up with them just happened to be under $100. So I decided to pick it up. With that said, I'm going to start out with this one. I've been wanting to get this for so long. I had a decant sent to me by Jeff from SoCal Scents, which made me absolutely regret my purchase of Ingenious Ginger, even though I did find out Ingenious Ginger has this ambery warmth that this one doesn't have. It's the only thing it has, which allows it to be worn during the cold weather, while this one is more for this spring and summer. This is Sospiro Vibrato. And so, just an FYI, that is felt. It's like gives me the EBGBs, but in the pictures you can't tell, it just looks green, but it's actually like felt. And this and like styrofoam give me the EBGBs. Like, it gives me goosebumps just feeling it, but I don't care. This fragrance is so good, I'm willing to live with it. But Sospiro Vibrato, what's it all about? Well, I'll give you some of the main notes so you can understand the fragrance. They are grapefruit, bergamot, jasmine, ginger, amber, and musk. There's also a little bit of a buttery orris as far as when you get to the dry down. It almost comes off like buttery and creamy. It actually comes off a bit vanillic in the far dry down, but that's more of the amber mixed together with it. With that said, this fragrance is in the realm of Bulgari Tiger, Ingenious Ginger, but it's better than both of them. In my opinion, this actually took my Ingenious Ginger, which I marked as a 9 when I first got it, brought it down to an 8.5 because this one is better in every single category except for that warmth. Again, Ingenious Ginger, only reason for me to justify keeping that bottle is because it's good for the fall and winter. Well, this one is definitely for the spring and summer. It's just that warmth is okay for Ingenious. This one, higher quality. It's fresher, cleaner, smoother. Everything about it is just better. And that's why this one is a 9.5 for me. When you first spray it on, you get this nice citrus mixture. That bergamot and grapefruit almost feels a bit lemony as well. You also do get this ginger. And what's crazy is that usually when you get ginger, you get a slight bit of sharpness. When you have citrus and a lot of it, you get a little bit of tart or a little bit of zestiness. This one, you don't get any of that tartness. You don't get any of that sharpness from the ginger because it's so smooth. It's like you're waiting for something to just go a little bit, like the citrus to come off a bit like a cleaner vibe, or the ginger to be a little bit rough. You're just waiting for, because it always happens in a fragrance. It's just not perfect, but everything about it smells great. It's just this little thing that bugs you. In this fragrance, it's so perfect that it's like the closest fragrance I have to being a 10. It's so damn smooth. It's fresh, it's clean. It's a citrus ginger balm. As you get about an hour into the fragrance, you do notice that through the mid, like in the 30-minute, 40-minute range, you get a bit of this underlying jasmine that just gives a slight floral tone, but it's just a nice mixture, and it still never comes off feminine. This is definitely unisex, leaning slightly masculine, but it's definitely closer to unisex than anything. Beautiful citrus, ginger. As you get to the dry down, a little bit of that amberwood, a little bit of the woodiness comes out again. It gets a little bit of this buttery orris, a slight bit of a creamy vibe to it. And that comes off almost a bit vanillic. And I think it might just be the amber musk that mixes together that comes off that way along with the buttery orris. But this fragrance is fantastic. Again, it is built around ginger and citrus. Once the citrus leaves, the ginger does stay there. The ginger is there for almost the entirety of the fragrance. But I do have to say, this is going to be one of the best summer high heat fragrances. It is effervescent, it's bright, it's crisp, it's clean. Everything about it is just pulls you in. My wife said it has a bit of a deodorant-like smell, and I understand what she's saying, but she says it smells great. And so she really likes it, not as much as I had hoped, but everybody else that I had around me smell it told her she was nuts for not saying how great it was. And I agree, but again, not going to be for like the newbies. Like if you're just new and you're all about designers and stuff like that, it might not be the type of fragrance you're into yet, but try it out for yourself, get a decant of it. I got mine on Venba Fragrance that comes back, and it's the best price on there usually, which is around $250-ish, I think. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember what I spent on it. It was only like 2 weeks ago because, again, I bought so many fragrances. But Suspiro Vibrato, absolutely great fragrance. I give it a 9.5. As far as the performance, it lasts 7 hours. It pushes out above average for the first hour. Then it's more moderate until hour 4. And then it comes down to be a personal bubble for about an hour. And then it's a skin scent. But if you spray it on clothes, it actually lasts a long time. The oils are very nice, very dense. Very clean, crisp, fresh. Anyway, this is the one that I'm only going to mention for about a minute because I did a full review on it. If you want to see it, I will pin it up above. This one is my favorite release this entire year, or favorite purchase this whole year, and that includes over the Vibrato. This is Loumari Porthole. Speaking of straight unisex, this is straight unisex. If you like fruity tropical fragrances, stop what you're doing right now and buy this. I'm telling you, this is the best fruity tropical fragrance. People compare it to God of Fire, but this takes God of Fire and takes a shit with God of Fire. It is just an amazing pineapple passion fruit mixture that almost smells a bit like mango pineapple. You mix that together and it's super high quality. And then you mix it and you have a little bit of this crushed sea salt on top and some musk floating around the back. Very simplistic, and you get like a slight vanilla caramely vibe as you get to the dry down mixed in to bring a little bit of this candy-like richness. But overall, it is a high quality, fresh, absolutely amazing, juicy bomb that I love. Love the fragrance. Again, if you want to see my full review, go check out my video from like 3 days ago, last week, whatever it was. Now going to the last one. Again, this one is the one. So speaking of Lamari Porthole, if you're interested in the fragrance, it's $280. It's only sold on Scent Split, and it sells out very quickly. If you want to get it, use the code CURLY10 CURLY10. I think it's Curly Fragrances code, and you get 10% off. I used Spring 15, but apparently it doesn't work anymore. I got 15% off, but yeah, very, very nice fragrance. Anyway, this is the one that I got for under 100 because I got a tester bottle of it, but it had the cap and everything, so I was like, you know what, why not? So this is Bohemian Lime by Goldfield and Banks, which is the company that also makes Ingenious Ginger. So if you like lime fragrances, I've told you already, my favorite lime fragrance is Atelier's Pacific Lime because it has this almost sugary sweet lime. Well, if you're looking for more of like an effervescent, actual like citric lime that's not sugary sweet or anything like that, Bohemian Lime is right where you want to go. And it smells like almost like a lime soda, whether it's 7-Up or Sprite or something like that. That's what pretty much everyone around the fragrance community knows it as, is like this 7-Up in a bottle or a Sprite in a bottle or whatever it might be. That's what this is. I mean, obviously it does have that fragrance smell, so it's still going to be a bit cologne-y. But with that said, it is a beautiful natural citrus lime that has a nice little tartness to it, a little bit of a zest. And then you have this effervescent pop that comes in. And I'll give you the notes again, just so you guys are familiar with the fragrance. The main notes for Bohemian Lime are finger lime, vetiver, bergamot, cedar, sandalwood, and coriander. A finger lime, I know it's the lime that looks like a finger, but I don't know what it actually smells like in real life, but just based on smelling this, you can tell it's that style of lime. It smells like lime, just has a little bit more of a zesty kick to it. You also do get a little bit of that coriander, which almost brings in that cologne vibe. Like I said, it's almost like if you mixed a 7-Up together with Dior Homme Cologne. That's kind of like what this smells like. So just picture that, like Dior Homme Cologne as an underlay of 7-Up or Sprite. Just put that on top. It's effervescent, it's fizzy, but it's also citric, very nice. It has a woodiness. As far as you getting to the dry down, after about an hour to an hour and a half, you do get that cedar coming in. You get a little bit of a creamy sandalwood. Has a slight musky base, but it's a woody citrus fragrance at its core. And the only drawback I have with Bohemian Lime, outside like Atelier Pacific Lime, for me lasts 6 to 7 hours. This one for me only lasts 4. I don't really care about that, but I know some people do. And I heard some people actually get better performance and some people get worse. But for me, if you're looking for this or Pacific Rock Moss, for me, it is 4 hours for both of them. If you spray it on clothes, obviously you'll get 6 or so, but that's great for me. I'm fine with 4 because it's a high heat summer fragrance. But Bohemian Lime, if you like 7-Up, you like the smell of that, you want to have something fizzy, effervescent lime, that's what you're going to get with Bohemian Lime. Really, really nice fragrance. All 3 of these are really good. Some of the other ones that I have are YSL L'Homme Cologne Blue. I have Coastal Carolina Parfum Southern Peach Tea. I have Jasada Ambassador because I finally ran out of my decants. I have Dumont Nitro Red. I have Torino 21 that is on my list to buy. It's just sold out right now, but I have it to where it's basically pre-ordered through the owner. And I can't remember the other 2. Oh, Mango Thai Lime. I have that ordered through Joe Loves, so I'm going to try that as well. But let me know if you're interested in any of the fragrances I'm going to be reviewing. If you want me to do a full review of any of them, which one you're interested most out of these 3. And again, that is my fragrance haul. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.